And here we stand, all collectively asking what happened in Tartaria, what happened to that civilization. And then you've got actually in front of our eyes today, people, the populations just seem to be literally disappearing, and
Mm.
no one's distressed about it. No
Yeah.
one's even like, they're all wondering what's happening. Where is everyone gone? But they're not distressed. Like, it's not personal. And it's really interesting. So then it's like, okay, so, and also, Cam, we've got the time sped up. Like for
Yeah.
us, for this community here, it is absolutely, I believe now, no one is denying the fact that time has sped up. But is it only speeding up for us? That was the question we asked the other night. Like, are we the ones experiencing the time, the quickening occurring
Mm.
to us? And
Yeah.
is it part of this split that not everyone is experiencing? And for those whose consciousness has expanded enough to pick up on the quickening of frequency and vibration, time is starting to speed. And I got told that really fucking clearly in 2013. Time is speeding up. It's called the quickening. This is what's happening. This is happening to you. This is happening to us, right?
Mm.
So, and just like the good old fan analogy, Cam, which we've all heard, where, you got the fan on one, you can still see the blades. You put it on two, can't see the blades so much, but put it on the highest level, it's just like, it's a whirl, you
Right.
can't identify the blades, right?
Mm.
Similar concept. So, time for us appears to be speeding up, and we're observing from that place where we currently are and stand, people disappearing.
Yep.
So, can we like theorize here
Yeah.
that we, the ones who are conscious of this, are now in a position of observer
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
realm? We
Yep.
are literally observing the collapse of the what would you call it? Observing the collapse of
The Matrix or
the
whatever it
matrix
is.
or of this current
The
reality.
the overlay. Yeah.
Because the question is, what are we doing here? Why
Wow.
are
This.
we here
Yeah.
exactly?
Yeah. Yeah. So also when, frequency rises, it gets faster. So that's the link with frequency rising and time speeding up, right?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on? And we um, raising frequency because they tell us, right, we can only see from infrared to ultraviolet, right? And that's
Yeah.
our reality, right?
Mm.
That's our seven color spectrum, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What happens if you shift up that scale, right? You can see more on one side, and on the other side, that just disappears, right? So new bits
Yeah.
open up to you, and bits disappear. So is that what's happening? They've literally gone out of our frequency, right? It's like if you only have an AM radio station, right? You can't tune into FM. It's not in that bandwidth anymore. So yeah, we were talking about, is this what's happening? And if so, what the hell are we still doing here, right?
I mean,
Everyone's
yeah,
disappearing. Are we here to witness? Because we know that it's
we're
like,
the
if a
creators.
tree falls in the forest, does anyone hear it, right? Who knows? Like the double slit experiment, there needs to be an observer for anything to happen. There needs to be witnesses. Is that what we're doing? Witnessing the
Yeah.
fall, and we're here to make it happen. Because with no witness, it doesn't happen.
But also, even further than just being the witness here, we're actually the projectors forward. But so,
Yes.
like for me, when I say us, I would say the distinguishing difference was made when the Mandela effect was introduced to us as a concept, and you were either someone who remembered or did not. So you are like us that went, hang on a minute, that didn't happen that way. That did not. I remember this. I remember. So you were not impacted by that shift. And I would say classically in this community, we were not affected or impacted by whatever occurred then that shifted that frequency. We still remember the old way. We still remember the old version of events. And interestingly, we collectively are all obsessed with understanding the old realm. Like the old realm is organic to us. It inspires our memory and our imagination. We want to understand what happened. We are focusing on the so when we talk about history, we're straight there into the old realm, and we see it as beautiful. We see it as advanced. We see it as harmonious. We see it as airships, airships, airships. Whereas like we don't see spaceships, spaceships, spaceships. We're all about the airship, right? We don't see new smart cities as desirable. We're all about the old realm. We don't see these new memories as true. We're all about what we experienced in the old memories and that they're true. We are planted here as a direct link to the old realm, to the old earth, to the old history, to the old stories. So, from that perspective, it appears to me that one of our biggest purposes, if not the reason for us all to gather in this moment in time and space with choice and intention, is to be the link to from this um, during this split, because now it's feeling more and more like a split, right? Now we're literally feeling like we have a vibrational split more and more and more. And our consciousness is over there in the old realm, not over here in the new futuristic AI space realm, right?
Mhm.
So as we stand here as observers, we're not only just observing the collapse, we're the one that's fucking making it happen because
Yeah. This
we're
is what we've been
obsessed.
asking for, right?
Yes, we're obsessed that it's shit now. We're obsessed that it's broken, that it's fake, that it's a deception, that it's cardboard, that it's all fucked, it's all wrong, it's all bad. Like it reminds me of the Langoliers, the Stephen King horror movie, The Langoliers. Like it just like feels like a tasteless cardboard cutout of itself. Our sensory interactions do not get stimulated by it anymore. We only find that in nature and per people contact. That's where we
Mhm.
find sensory harmony. But to cast our eyes on the world as it is, we're detached. We're detached. We're detached. So now we stand here not only of the observers of it collapsing, we are the creator energies that are bringing that about.
Yes,
Like it couldn't happen
totally.
without us, right? We're the ones that have been obsessed that it's happening. Campbell, we're the ones that are obsessed that there's an apocalypse coming. We're the ones obsessed that there's a reset coming. We're the ones obsessed using this language that something's happening, something's coming, something's happening. We are the ones projecting that forward.
Yeah, man. We're the ones creating it, right? Everything is created by thoughts. Thoughts become things. And this is literally, we're watching what we've been asking for. We've been asking for the collapse of this, of the, for the famous
Yes.
people and the celebs to be exposed and all this
Yep.
stuff. It's all happening, right? And so
Who
we're
else is
here.
asking for it?
Yeah,
No
well,
one else is asking for
no,
it.
not the masses, that's for sure, man. They're watching the news still.
It's all the
And
conspiracy theorists.
yeah. Um, and I talk a lot about like the overlay, right? I believe that
Mm.
that we've been invaded, right? And there's been an overlay, which is essentially a spell, right? We've
Yes.
been taught what to see and what's real and all this. And I think that affects our frequency, right? It puts us down into a more solid frequency. So, as another theory, how did Tartaria fall? Well, did some big magicians just come down and start doing some spell magic, take apart the frequency network that was there, and they put up another spell, right, which dropped us in frequency. So we ended up in this weird
Yeah.
world where the
Mm.
old world was collapsed and collapsing, and there was all this new shit everywhere. And but it's an overlay, it's a spell. Is that now lifting? Because that's what the apocalypse is, right? The veil lifting is that
Yeah.
the overlay, the veil, and like as we are literally from that old world, and that old world literally still exists, and it comes more into our reality as our frequency rises, and that's kind of what's been happening over the last couple of years, right? We've been getting used to this, the old world. We've been seeing the buildings. We've been wondering
Yeah.
what they are. We've been working out the Earth grid and how things work, and free energies back in the conversation and water and all this stuff. So we're starting to learn about this world. So it's becoming more present to us, right? More in our vision, more in our frequency. So that's another thing that could be happening is this overlay included all these people which were basically there to try and make us believe, they're the echo chamber, right? But
Yep.
now the internet's the echo chamber, so they don't necessarily need so many people.
Yep.
So are we literally, waking up, as they say?